everyone, come on in because today I am doing a special video, and maybe they won't become special some more because maybe I'll do them more often. But we're going to do some date breakdowns. We're going to do some date breakdowns of the various dates that happened, in the regular episode on my regular review. I don't always have time to go so much in detail at that moment, so I try to get the video out on the sort of recap review. But you know me, if all y'all follow my channel, you know I love a good character breakdown, cast breakdown, but I also love a good date breakdown. So oftentimes what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some of these dates and really break them down, let y'all know what I think, what I see. And today, we're going to break down the date between Sierra and Maurier. And you might be saying, why I picked this date? Why did I pick another date? You know why I'm picking this date? Because my antennas are up on Maurier. I said it. Yes, I said it. My antennas are up on Maurier. Let me tell you why my antennas are up. First of all, if y'all know me, I always talk about how you should have a good breakup story. I particularly tell that to the women. Because to be honest with you, I know y'all say I'm hard on women, but the reason why maybe I come off as hard on the women is because I want women to win. That's really who I'm here for. I'm telling you right now, I want women to win. I want women to have happiness. So maybe I am a little lopsided. Maybe I tend to give a women a little bit more advice, and maybe you guys call it criticism, more so than I do talk to the men, because I want women to win. I don't always think we can control what men do, what men think, how men behave. Because men, let me tell you, some of them are good, some of them are bad. They're going to behave the way they want to behave. So I tend to concentrate on what can you do to be more successful in the world, as opposed to sitting around and pouting and being mad about what they do. But the reason why I want to talk about Maurier, and why Maurier for me is raising some real red flags, because once again, I want to school some girls. I want to school some women on the Mauriers of the world. Here's what I'm picking up on Maurier. Like I said, everybody should have a good breakup story where you don't blame the other person. And right off the bat, Maurier raised my red flags, because when you hear his breakup story, it's all about blaming the woman. Oh, she couldn't give up her ex. Remember we heard that? She couldn't give up her ex, different things. So remember, I'm going to go, before I start playing some of the actual video, because we're going to actually play some video of it, I want to say we need to go back and think about where Maurier has been involved in things on this show so far. First of all, he was instrumental in getting Tequila booted off. If you remember, Tequila confronted Maurier on the fact that he was calling all the other women, but he wasn't calling her. Everybody remember that? Did I think it was wrong for Tequila to confront Maurier on that? Yes, I did. I think she should have picked up on whatever she picked up on, and she should have moved forward. I don't think that she should have confronted him over it. So what I said was, that doesn't benefit Tequila, okay? Tequila should not have confronted him on that. But the fact that it happened, you can put a pin in it. The next part of it is, I want to say that he was also instrumental in getting Leanne kicked off. Because remember, when Leanne didn't react the way he wanted her to, in response to the father the father having passed away, he went on camera, and I think he was instrumental in influencing people that Leanne is cold. Is it true about Leanne? I think it is true about Leanne. And so I had some advice for Leanne as well, because I think she does show up in the world like that. Now, what I want to get to is, now we see these previews coming up next week, and Maurier is also going to be the one sitting across from Kira. Looks like Kira's going to be in the bottom, and he's going to be delivering the news to her. Now I'm saying to myself, we heard Maurier put down his girlfriend, or his baby mama, okay? He also used that phrase that triggers me, oh, she got pregnant. I can't stand that. When men act like they've never been around, that the woman has some immaculate conception. No, she didn't just get pregnant. You impregnated her. You had sex with her unprotected, or in some type of fashion where she became pregnant. You participated. So now I'm adding up these things about Maurier. I'm adding up the Tequila incident. I'm adding up the Leanne incident. I'm adding up the she got pregnant incident. Now I'm adding up that his breakup story is all about how that woman was still entangled with her ex-boyfriend. And what I'm hearing of is I'm hearing a lot of blame being put on women, but I'm not hearing any accountability from Maurier. My first instinct about Maurier is that he thinks more highly of himself than he is getting value for out in the marketplace. That's my first instinct. My first instinct, and I think I said it down in the comments last week to one of my people I chat to in the comments, is my first instinct about Maurier is that he bats in a league that he's not prepared for. He goes after women that aren't in his league. And then what I think he may become is he may become bitter. I think he may become bitter, and I think he has an affinity to putting people down, putting women down, and throwing shade a lot more. And then you're left with saying, well, who are you? Who are you to put down all these women all the time? Because I think he thinks of himself a little bit superior to a lot of people. This is what I'm picking up on. This is what I'm picking up on. But we're going to go through this date with Sierra. And I'm going to be stopping it because there's some things I want to say about Sierra as well. I think I've mentioned in some of my other videos that I think she gets put in the friend zone. And I'm seeing some of that in this date as well. But stick with me because we're about to do a date breakdown between Maurier and Sierra. So let's get it going.
So I'm looking forward to the hoedown, but for now, I'm inviting Maurier out because I really want to get some time with him. He's been texting me, but I want to see how he acts when he's sitting across the table from me.
So I'm going to stop it right here because what we hear from Sierra is that she says, you know what, I want to get some up close and personal time with Maurier because he's been texting me. So what this is giving me right now is Maurier has been texting all the women. Remember, Tequila told us that one of the things he was doing was he was texting a lot of different women, which is what you're supposed to do in the game. You're supposed to try to communicate with as many women as you can. But Tequila told us that he was texting some women, but he wasn't texting her, and that's why she took offense to it. So he has been reaching out to Sierra, and so Sierra says, you know what, let me get to know him a little bit more up close and personal, because the text, you know, you don't learn much from text. Let's really sit down across from each other and break some bread or have a drink, and let's really, really talk. All right, let's keep going.
Hey.
What's up, pretty lady? What's up? What's up?
You look good.
Thank you.
So I like that he complimented Sierra. I like that he said, hey, pretty lady, how are you? And then she also returned the compliment and said, you know, hey, you look good, you look good. I like that. I like starting off conversations with compliments. I don't like it when people are starting a date and you don't have something nice to say about the person from the start. I think you need to set the tone because there's something good you can find in every person sitting across from you. So I like that he called her a pretty lady, and I like that she also returned the compliment and says, oh, you look good too. Just simple compliments. It really does help set the tone of a date.
Trying to see if it's something romantic that could be with him.
Okay, so right away, Sierra's saying, you know what? I want to see if there could be any romanticism before, between us, because maybe she feels like she likes Maurier as a person, but does Maurier, sort of float her boat? Does Maurier make her feel a kind of certain way? Will this relationship be able to go from just being friends to being a lovers or something more? Because I think she already probably feels like she could talk to Maurier, but can she be interested in him romantically?
How you been?
I'm doing good.
You got your turtleneck on?
Yeah.
It's your sophisticated look.
I gotta impress you, man. You're the expert,
And continue.
So right away, there goes Sierra. She goes right into the style. She's a stylist, so more than likely she would be a person that would immediately point out what you are wearing because she's a professional. That's probably what she notices first. And she right went away and said, oh, you got your turtleneck on. I guess this is your sophisticated look. So sitting across from Sierra, I could say that comment could be taken one or two ways. One is you could be pointing out and saying, well, this turtleneck is not what you like. Because let me tell you, by saying you got your turtleneck on, that's your sophisticated look, it doesn't necessarily imply that she likes the turtleneck. I don't know if you guys realize that. It doesn't necessarily imply that she likes the turtleneck. So Maurier could take it one or two ways. Is it a compliment or is it a dig? So what I would say is if you're going to point out something in someone and you want to make sure that it's going to be taken in the right way, you might need to change the way you say it. So when she said, oh, you got your turtleneck on, I guess this is your sophisticated look. If she really wants it to be taken as a compliment, she probably say, oh, you got your turtleneck on. You look really sophisticated. That's completely different. That's completely different from on, you got your turtleneck on, and I guess this is your sophisticated look. When you say you got your turtleneck on and this is your sophisticated look, you could also be saying you fronting. You could be saying a lot of different things, and you don't know the way the man across the table from you is going to take that sort of statement. You don't know if he's going to take it as a compliment or if he's going to take it as a way that you're kind of in a way of making you're a little bit making fun of him. So I think that because Sierra, I think she's a natural jokester. She likes comedy. I don't think she meant it in a wrong way, but this is what I was saying before about Sierra. There's little parts about Sierra that if she isn't careful, what she can do is she can sort of intimidate a man to the point that he doesn't feel comfortable with her, and that even though she thinks it's funny, he may feel that he's the butt of her jokes. And what will happen is he will not start to feel romantically connected to her, and what he'll do is he'll put her in the friend zone because he won't want to become too vulnerable with her because he's starting to feel like he's the butt of her jokes. It may seem small, and I think isolated, it's not a big deal, but I'm going to keep watching because if it's too many of those comments, it'll start to feel like people may be the butt of Sierra's jokes as opposed to their compliments. If she always leads with that comedy, remember, comedy is sometimes built around making fun of a person. That's what a lot of comedy shows are about. That's why a lot of comedians, oftentimes, they pick people out of the audience and they say little things about people in the audience because sometimes you can become the butt of people's jokes. And that's what I don't want to happen with Sierra. I don't think she means it in a bad way, but if she's not careful, that's how her comedy can come off as.
Right.
You know a lot about a lot of stuff.
I do.
Yeah.
And there's some things I don't know.
Okay, like what?
About Maurier.
Yeah, what you want to know?
You've been married before, right?
No, man. Never been married. Never been engaged either.
Okay, I'm going to stop it right there because when she asked him, you've been married before, did you see his face? Oh, no. I don't like that. When he says, no, already, that scrunched up face, I don't like it. Because what it's saying is, it's almost like you have a distaste for something. He act like Sierra asked him, well, you eat boo-boo, don't you? The way he scrunched up his face when she asked him, you've been married before, he scrunched up his face like she actually asked him, do you like boo-boo? So it's either one of two things. I don't think it's because he scrunched up his face because he doesn't like the idea of marriage, because I think he does want to be married. He's made that pretty clear. But what he's scrunching his face up is no, I'm not one of those people that have been married before and that are divorced. That's what he's saying. It's judgment. It's judgment on people who've been married and have gotten divorced. What he's saying is not that he doesn't want marriage. He said, oh no, I'm not one of them people who've been married and have gotten divorced. It's actually a put down of divorced people. I really want y'all to catch that. That scrunched up face is a distaste for something. It's not a distaste for the fact that he doesn't want to be married. It's a distaste from saying, I'm not one of those people who've been divorced. That is another put down of someone. This is what I'm getting with Maurier. Maurier is a shade thrower. He throws shade on a lot of people. And right there, he threw a shade on people who've been married and divorced, because there have been plenty of times when Maurier is saying he believes marriage is for life. He believes marriage is for life. And asking him if he's been married and he's now on this show as a divorced man, he's like, that ain't me. Let's keep watching.
You ain't never got on that knee? Haven't found nobody worthy enough to get on the knee for you know.
Okay, there you go, people. He said, I ain't engaged either, and I haven't found nobody worthy enough for me to even get on one knee. What? Worthy? Look at the word choice. When someone says, I haven't been married and I haven't get engaged, instead of saying, I really haven't found anyone, a woman that I really vibe with, or I haven't found any woman that, I even wanted to marry, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But the word choice of I haven't found no one who's even worthy of marriage, that says a lot. Because there are a lot of people who are worthy of marriage, but yet they're not the person for you. So you're telling me you've never dated a woman that was worthy of being a wife. Now, you may not have wanted to marry her, but that doesn't mean that she's not worthy of being married. That's some more shade being thrown. I'm telling you, Maurier is a shade thrower. Now what he's done is he's put down every woman he's dated and said none of them was worthy enough for him to get down on one knee. I don't like the word choice of worthy. That's shade. He may have said that he could have said, I've never met a woman in which we've been able to make it all the way to marriage, or we've ever been engaged. But I really have a problem with the word worthy and the way that he wraps up everything to say it's still about the woman. She's the problem. She ain't worthy. It's not me. It's not something I need to do differently. It's the woman. She ain't worthy.
The last one was my son's mother. Basically, she never closed the door between her and her ex. That's another thing.
Okay, there we go. Like I told you. The last woman was my ex, and she never closed the door between her and her ex. Once again, has Maurier taken any responsibility? No. It's because basically my ex was a two-timer, and she was going around here seeing another man. Another put down. Another shade. More shade thrown at a woman. More shade thrown at another person. Once again, it is Maurier elevating himself and putting down everybody else around him. Maurier is coming off as not self-aware, arrogant, thinking he's better than everybody. And I'm telling you, he probably backs outside of his league. I don't know his ex's story, but if she wasn't worthy enough to be married to, and you so-called hold marriage in high esteem, I don't know why you got her pregnant. Why did you get her pregnant? If she wasn't worthy enough, why did you get her pregnant? If she had never let go of being entangled with her ex-boyfriend, then why did you get her pregnant? I got a problem with Maurier. He comes off as one of these guys who's a nice guy, but I'm telling you, Maurier got a side of him that, I don't know. I think he might be a little bit judgmental when he likes to put people down. That's what I'm saying. He might be a little bit of a person who likes to put you down a lot, but don't recognize anything about himself. That's what I'm starting to pick up about Maurier.
I'm trying to raise a son up, and daddy need love too. I want him to grow up in that same environment that I did. If it can't be with both biological parents, I at least want him to see how his daddy, treated a woman.
Right.
So
he talking about how he wants to show how his daddy treated a woman and grow up, kind of seeing a healthy marriage between a man and a woman. But he's on here on national TV putting his son's mama down. Make it make sense. You want your son to learn how a man should treat a woman, but then you're on national TV talking about your son's a mama. Okay, Maurier, if you say so.
how long have you been single?
I've been single for about 4 or 5 years now.
So you normally are in relationships?
So when Maurier asked right there, you know what, how long have you been single? This is another cold word, women out here. When men ask women, how long you been out here on the streets off the market and ain't found no man? I'm going to tell you right now that a lot of men find women who've been single a long time as a red flag to them. I know a lot of women believe that they want to appear virtuous, and they don't want men to think that they've had a lot of serial boyfriends and everything like that. I think that is true, but there's another red flag that men have, and that red flag are women who haven't been in any relationships. Men take that as a red flag, because when they see you and they're actually interested in you, but they also find out that no man has ever wanted you, their antennas go up. Because what they start to believe is, dang, wait a minute. Here you are, this great woman, but no man has ever wanted you. Now what they're doing is they're trying to figure out what's wrong with you. The truth of the matter is, men want women who are hot commodities. Let's keep it real. Men want women that other men want too. So when I tell women they need to come up with their stories, the stories of I've been single for 10 years, I've been single for 7 years, I've been single for 8 years, I'm telling you right now, it's not a good story. It's not a good story because you don't come off as a hot commodity. You don't. You come off as a stale product on the shelf that needs to be marked down. I'm telling you, you come off as a product that's been sitting in the store for 10 years and no one has purchased it, And so now when this man comes along, he's saying, why should I pay top dollar for you? Because you've been sitting on the shelf a very, very long time. So when she says, I've been single for about 4 to 5 years, he says, so normally you are in a relationship. And what he's trying to do is he's trying to say, well, are you in one most of the time or out of one? I know a lot of women think, okay, well, I don't want to come off as I'm always in relationships. But the worst thing is to be out of a relationship for too long, because then people think you're inexperienced in relationships too. You need to have a balance. You need to have a balance. 5 years out of a relationship, I'm telling you, it's not completely a red flag all the way yet, to be honest with you. But it's getting close to one. It is getting close to one, because most of the time when you think about the time it takes maybe to heal from a past relationship, 5 years is a lot of time. So typically, if you're thinking about a man saying, is she controlling her own love cycle? It would mean that even if you've been in a relationship, how much time have you been out of the relationship? How much time have you been on the market? And how long has men passed over you when you've been available, but they didn't want you? And 5 years is saying, I've been available for 5 years. And no one has chosen me. Now, I know women want to say, well, it's maybe because I haven't chosen the man. I get that. That's the woman's perspective. I do get that. But I'm not talking about from the woman's side. I'm talking about from a man's side. Okay? A lot of men could think, well, have you been too picky to pick a man in 5 years? Or he could say, no man has wanted you for 5 years. That's what I'm saying. You can't just look at it from your side of that, well, I haven't met a man in 5 years. Because a lot of men can look at it as, well, no man has wanted you for 5 years. You got to really look at it both ways.
I can get a man when I can't get nothing to eat. Okay? Lemon hers home.
Yeah.
So when Sierra comes back with her quick wittiness is a no, I can get a man. I can get a man if I want to. I can get a man when I can't get nothing to eat. So that's a little bit of arrogance coming out on Sierra's side. Sierra could be saying, I can get a man in my sleep, right? I think that's kind of what she's saying. I don't think she's saying she could use a man to eat. I think what she's saying is it's easy to get a man out here. It's real easy to get a man, and I can get a man walking in my sleep. That's what she's saying. That's not the problem. So the fact that I've been single for 5 years ain't because I can't get a man, because I can surely get a man. That's a little arrogance on her part. She's kind of, puffing out her chest a little bit, saying that ain't the problem out here. I can get a man. But I'm not for sure that at this moment, that type of arrogance is best on a date. Like I said, you can make little things about that and be funny, but when you're funny, you got to make sure you follow it up with some serious conversation. So she could tell a joke and say, well, I can get a man in my sleep. But what she better do, I'm telling you, and I do say the word better, what she better do is follow up that with a more serious comment. Because that little joke, I can get a man in my sleep, it can be taken a couple of extra ways. And she doesn't want her joke to become, or her funny moment to become left out there for a person to interpret it any kind of way. She needs to follow up that humor and say, no, really, no, I'm just saying, yeah, I said, but it's really easy for a man to, there are a lot of men who are attracted to women, and there are men who are attracted to me, but I find that the more difficulty out here in dating is finding a quality man in which I sort of, vibe with or whatever. That's what you need to do. You need to make sure you differentiate between quality over quantity. And I know this is probably edited, and I don't know if that's the end of the joke for Sierra, but every joke that Sierra tells for that sort of funny moment, she really needs to follow it up and really clarify it, because if she doesn't, I'm telling you, it can be taken the wrong way from a person sitting across from her. And then what could happen is she could be put in the friend zone, and she isn't viewed as a serious person. She's viewed as, oh, she's funny, she's got jokes, she's easy to talk to, but she's not serious.
Because I've been a hustler all my life. You know what I'm saying?
And you see how she says to herself, I've been a hustler all my life. I've been a hustler all my life. That's another thing. I'm saying I think she needs to think about what she's saying, of how a person interprets that. I think Sierra has in her mind a definition of what she's trying to say. But I think where she's missing it on dates is she's not listening to how that comes off. So when you're sitting across from a man and you're saying, I've been a hustler all my life, how is that viewed? How is that viewed from a potential partner sitting across from you that you've been a hustler all your life? You've been hustling men all your life? Girl, I need you to clear some of this stuff up, because being a hustler all your life in dating isn't what a man wants to hear from you. That you've been a hustling man all your life, or that it's easy for you to get a man, or that, you know, you can get a man like you can, like you said, like when you can't get nothing to eat. That is giving vibes like, are you out here hustling men? And that may not even be who Sierra is. But she's saying it because it's a funny moment for her, and it's a joke, and it's funny. But then what can happen is she can become a joke to the man. She can become the woman that although she's funny and she's witty and she's all this, she becomes a joke to the man. And although the man may want to hang around her, do they really want to wife her up? Do they really want to take her seriously? Or is she too much of a risk? That's what I'm saying about Sierra right now. She needs to be careful. She needs to be careful that her wittiness and her jokes are not derailing her in dating.
With Sierra, it's so genuine and it's so refreshing. She's truly like that around the way home, girl. And I love that about her.
Okay, you see what he just called her? It's refreshing that he can just talk to her and that she truly is an around the way girlfriend. Let me tell you something. The minute a man calls you an around the way girl, there's a good chance you're about to get put in the friend zone. And one of the reasons why he's also saying he's feeling comfortable around her is because what he's starting to say is, I don't feel like I have to impress her. Once a man starts to feel he doesn't need to impress you, what's starting to happen is you're starting to get put in the friend zone. Because when men are trying to impress you, they do feel off balance. They do. They feel off balance because they're trying to impress you and they're trying to put their best foot forward. And that's what makes them feel off balance. So being off balance for a man isn't always bad. Okay. So what he's saying is, I'm already feeling comfortable with Sierra. She's easy to talk to. And what he's saying is, she's around the way girl. This ain't looking good for Sierra. This is not good looking for Sierra. And I already feel like Maurier is slowly sliding Sierra into the friend zone.
Out of everybody, I probably felt the most comfortable with you.
Really?
With everybody. And I've honestly told others that this ain't game. This ain't no game.
And she's taking that as a compliment right now. She's blushing and everything. But let me tell you, Maurier is looking at Sierra like he's going to be the girlfriend he could call and talk to when he needs advice for the real woman he's into. I'm telling you, that's what it's starting to sound like. She's the woman that she's easy to talk to. She can give you a woman's perspective. And when I have a real woman that I'm really interested in, that I'm feeling uncomfortable with, that I don't know how to impress, that I'm trying to put my best foot forward, I will call Sierra for some advice on what I should do with that woman. But Sierra is taking it as a compliment that he feels really comfortable with her so soon. I don't know if I would take that as a compliment. No, I still want you to be a little bit more in trying to impress me mode. It's too early in the game for you not to feel like you need to still impress me. I still want you to feel a little bit nervous around me. I sure do. This early in the game, yeah, when I get to be married to you, or once the time comes that we're together and we've been together a long time, I want you to be what Maurier is now. I want you to feel like you could talk to me. I want you to feel like you can confide in me. But in this early dating stage, no, I need you to be a little bit nervous. I sure do. I need you to still be a little bit trying to impress me mode, because I still want you to feel like if you don't keep putting your best foot forward, or you might lose me. Don't get so comfortable so soon. If I've made you feel too comfortable too soon and you start calling me an around the way girl, I done something wrong. I have done something wrong.
Our conversations are so organic and it's not forced. It's very smooth. And it's
At one point, I don't know if it was in another life or something, we had met.
our conversations are so organic.
Your conversations are so forced, they're organic. I like conversations to be organic, I do, but I think right now the conversations are organic for the wrong reasons. Should conversations be forced? No, you don't want forced conversations. But the reason why I think the conversations are becoming so smooth is because I think it's happening to both of them. I don't know if they recognize it yet. I think they're becoming so smooth so soon because they're both in the friend zone really fast. I don't believe that. I don't believe that Sierra has formed a romantic attraction to Maurier, and I don't believe that he's formed a romantic attraction to Sierra, and now their conversations are smooth. Their conversations are smooth so soon, so organically, because they're both getting put in the friend zone real fast. And the difference between these two, which is the difference between Sierra and Tequila, is Sierra isn't the type of person to get mad about it. Tequila, she was mad about it. That's why she got mad. Sierra, because she's around the way girl, she's like, that's cool. I'm cool with being friends with a dude. Because you know what? Sierra's been here before. Sierra has probably had a lot of male friends that she's been friends with. This ain't her first rodeo. She's been here before. Either by choice or not by choice.
So like this my partner, and it could be more. And could be very, very well something more. You know what I'm saying?
And so he says he wants to be sexually attracted to his best friend.
I want to be sexually attracted to my best friend.
Right. Are you sexually attracted to your best friend right now?
What?
Right here, in this moment?
We can leave if you want to be honest.
So she said, are you sexually attracted to your best friend? And he said, well, you know, we can leave here if you want to, because, you know, she basically saying, I'm your best friend. Okay, she set him up on another joke so they can laugh and have a good time.
He is making it very clear he is not trying to hold my hand in the park. He want to hold my hand after dark.
That's cute. That is cute, Sierra. That's a cute line that he said he don't want to hold my hand in the park. He want to hold my hand after dark. Yeah, you know, that's the other thing. Yeah, he may want to hold your hand after dark, but it may be out of curiosity. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that this is a love match in the making. It sounds like it's a friendship in the making, but he's saying, you are cute. And what he's saying is, I would sleep with you. I would sleep with you, but I don't know if you for me for long term. That's what I'm feeling. You are cute, you're attractive, and if we was out in the parking lot and you wanted to bang, I would do it. But that doesn't mean I would still want to stick around with you later on. And I think this is the part women need to understand. There are a lot of men who will sleep with you, but doesn't mean that they feel as if it could go beyond that. I don't think Maurier is right now thinking that, I don't think right now Maurier is really thinking that Sierra could make it too far outside of the friend zone. She good enough for the parking lot, as he's saying and laughing, but I don't know if it would go much further than that. And to be honest with you, I don't even think Sierra will give him a chance in the parking lot. I think she's just talking, and I think she's just trying to be funny. And like I said, Sierra's comedy and humor is very funny for me to watch, but she needs to be careful about that on dates, because I'm telling you, some of that comedy and humor she uses, I think it can get her put in the friend zone sooner than she really wants to. But that's it, y'all. That's the date breakdown for Sierra and Maurier. I'm going to try to do more. I really am going to try to do more because there's a couple other dates that I want to get to that happened in this episode that I want to do some date breakdowns on. And for sure, I'm going to do a date breakdown on Janelle. I'm absolutely going to do a breakdown on Janelle. Talk to y'all later. Bye.